Yeah, I'd say it looks a lot better. Considering that.
Right. This thing sat in the bottom of a pond, I swear.
And here's the $150 quad. This thing was abandoned literally out behind a barn for, he says 4 years, I'm thinking more. I've never seen rust like that on everything. I mean, look at the headlight bezel. All the levers. Just, it's thick. The carburetor, it's, you know, we've kind of taken it down, taken it apart a little bit just to see what we got. Motor looks good. Oil lines, fuel pump. We turned the key and the fan came on for a minute, but then it stopped, and I don't know what made that come on or why it came on, but there's a fan in there. We found some wiring. I don't know what it is. The switch is completely frozen. Every lever was frozen. We got them somewhat working. Throttle not stuck. We're gonna get into this thing, see if we can't get it started, see what we need to do. But as for now, we took the front rack off in case we gotta take these plastics off to get inside there. That's the rack that was on there. You can see it needs to be wire wheeled. It's crusty. I mean, I have never seen crust like that before in my life. Just thick. You could probably push through that bar. But either way, we took that rack off. The boys are cleaning up pieces and parts. That axle guard was, you know, in the same state, if not worse. It's got a differential in the front. This is actually a pretty high-end quad in its day. It's a 1987. It's got, you know, key start, it's got electric fan, but most of all, it's got these LEDs on the side. I've never seen a 1987 quad with LEDs on it. I mean, and then it's got, you can see this long cord out front. Basically, you fold these out. Oh yeah, which is amazing, it still works. And then you got your spotlight. You can see the cable. So that's cool for shining deer. You can literally walk around with your headlight. Never seen that before. And that just slides in these two rubber holes. And then these flaps just fold in. Boom. This is what our air filter looked like right here. Nasty. This whole thing here was full of mice nests. I vacuumed it out. Took the air tube off that went here. Make sure that wasn't full of mouse nests. And what's nice is someone put a screen here in front of the carb, so it has never sucked anything in. The ORV sticker on this thing is from '04. But, you know, that doesn't mean a lot on these. People could have ridden it after '04, just not on trails. He says 4 years. Motor kicks over. Sounds smooth. So, let me get into this a little bit more. See what I need to do to start it. Make sure that I'm not going to suck anything in or hurt anything if I do start it. We'll see if we can get this thing running. $350 quad though. This was top of the line in its day. I couldn't believe it when we found it. We drove an hour and a half to go get it. I didn't even try talking him down. I saw it on market. I was like, holy crap, gotta go, bye. Grabbed the kid and we took off. The guy said by the time I got there, he had gotten over 50 messages on it. 25 people wanting to buy it and then 25 more, he said. The tires, they aren't all cracked up. And for some reason, the rims don't match the quad. You know, everything's covered in this crust, but the rims are clean. Check this side out. You know? How's that? Either way, the more we play with it, the more crust falls off of it. I mean, this here, you can see, Fuel pump right there. Let's look at the carburetor. Carburetor's here. She's got crust all over it. Yeah, let me check the plug. Let's check for sparks, see what we got. Had to move it back out of the sunlight. My lens is messed up from the last video where I built that bumper and I shot the lens with sparks. But the boys are making headway. They've got that thing looking a lot smoother. I think I may keep the top rack off and grind these. I don't know. I almost should leave that top rack and keep it stock. I mean, this is Farmer Quad USA, Hunter Quad. But I took the plug out. The plug seemed nasty, so I cleaned it up. I tested a new plug. We do have spark. We've got fuel down here in this fuel filter. This fuel pump though, I don't hear it or feel it working. So I don't know how that works or what does that. I also, this ground wire, there's a frame that goes over this carburetor that I took off to get this big boot off so I could look in the carb and see if there's any mice nest in there. Took that off, reground this down, hooked that ground up. I mean, it could only help. What else did I do? Oil lines seem to be working. There's oil up there. So I checked the oil. We're full of oil. I actually added a little bit of Yama lube. So we've got good oil. Here, let me stab it in there for you. Got good Yama lube. And that's about it. That's all we have to check. The valve for the fuel on-off switch is off or missing. There's just a little flapper that a screw goes in there and holds, so no biggie to replace, eBay item. It is on the on position, so we're good there. Battery is great on the charger. Actually, the charger's not plugged in right now, is it? Holy cow, the battery came back to life.
What?
Yeah, that was just on the battery. Awesome. So that's good. I can't believe the tires aren't all checked up and cracked up. I had to bust the clamps off. You can see this clamp right here. You couldn't even get your screwdriver in the head of a Phillips. That's how bad they were. And taking off this rack, these bolts down here, they're you got to hammer a socket on there, otherwise you'll round them off. You can see Maddox is trying to get the rack off. They want to paint them up. Got the other rack out there. Bam Bam's working on trying to get the crust off there. And then I think we're about ready to try to fire this thing, see if it fires. We got spark. I don't know if we have fuel because the fuel pump's not kicking on. But, I mean, it should still run. It should cough if I put starting fluid in there. So I'll spray some starting fluid in there and we'll see what it does. Turn the key on. Alright, let's see. Should I try it with the choke on first? Yeah?
Yeah.
No way!
Dude. It started. Oh my god, it's a Honda.
With the choke on. No way!
Dude. She's a Honda.
No way!
I was expecting to get some cost out of it, not for it to start. 4th, 5th kick.
That's freaking weird. Did it just run out of starting fluid?
Probably.
I don't hear that fuel pump working, I know that.
Yeah, I don't think it's
way.
getting gas.
There's no way it started like that.
It's a Honda. Dude.
No!
What a
That
brute.
gas is 4 years old.
You can't kill these things.
Ah, see, that might have been starting fluid in there.
Yeah.
Alright, more starting fluid.
Well, it works. It runs.
That's amazing. It almost looks like it ran already. Choke again.
Holy smoke.
Work! The headlights work?
They're working? Oh, not yet.
Come here and keep this running for me. Got no power up here.
Maybe a mile shade of wire. So yeah, it's definitely getting gas. It wouldn't run this long.
Yeah, it's sucked in gas. It's
Old gas.
so I don't think it'll idle.
Old gas too. Look at it.
Got no power. Let's see if it'll idle. It's a freaking Honda, man.
Dude,
That's how I knew to go buy this.
you just gotta know because it's a Honda.
We don't have any power to any of our lights or any
Oh,
of the
there it is.
accessories though, so we have to figure that out. Which could be a rusty connection here. We're gonna get a new battery for it. We got a new filter coming, oil change, and I have to try to get that fuel out of that tank. I mean, I could add new gas. No, not yet. Hold on.
There's nothing
It looks
down.
like we've got. Man, it smells. It doesn't smell too horrible, but we've got about. How big is that? I'd say it's just under half tank of fuel.
Yeah.
Look at the battery's working. It's in neutral.
It's warmed up. Well, I've got the charger on
Oh, I
right
was
now.
gonna say,
See, the battery's coming back though. Look at that.
still on.
So we're gonna keep.
Dude,
I think this is my battery gauge.
Yeah,
the dude just had no hope for it. He didn't think it was gonna work probably.
like power.
If he knew it'd
Wow.
start that easy, he probably would have done the work himself.
Honestly, it was too easy. He was an old man, and he was
Yeah.
trustworthy. He wasn't like some guy just lying, trying to flip
Right.
this. It was sitting behind his barn forever. And he said it ran very smooth, ran great when it did run. He just hasn't ran it,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know. Here, come over here. Does anybody know what this is? Some kind of power outlet. Yeah, again, look at that rust. You can't even get a screwdriver in there if you
I think
wanted
that
to.
was to his thrower though for the salt.
Well, I believe it's a stock power supply. But what do you plug into it is what I'm wondering.
Right.
I mean, it's got positive, negative. I could probe that, see if it's got power. We need to continue to clean this up.
Yeah.
That's the quad. It runs, I can't even believe it, 350 bucks. There's $350 worth of parts here, you know.
No wheels.
These parts on eBay go for gold.
Because it's an old.
Because these old Hondas, man,
People like keeping them around.
they're the best farm quad or farm all quad you can get. I wish I still had the attachments and stuff to it. That'd be cool. So
Wow.
what we are gonna do though is we got to get new gas in it. We got to get this filter on it. My dad is out getting that today. New battery. that one looks like it's coming back, but who knows if it's going to hold a charge. We are going to continue cleaning these up, get some black paint on them, try to paint this cage without getting the headlight all messed up. We got to figure out the lights, and then we've got to take this thing out and see how it goes through the gears. So once we get it going through the gears for 5 minutes, then we'll change the oil. We'll get it all cleaned out while it's warm. Test this 4-wheel drive. Any 4-wheel drive quad is worth $700. Any 4-wheel drive quad. So we couldn't go wrong there. Big rack for the back. Where did I put that? Oh, that's right here. So we've got a rack that even opens up. It's actually a pretty modern quad for 1987.
Yeah.
Super modern. That right there just gets me. Yeah, it's got a fan. If you leave the key on too long, there's a fan in the front. Blows through the oil cooler. So, man, I just want to ride this thing.
Yeah, same.
Alright, we're going to continue to plug away on this thing, clean it up, and make sure she's going to run good for a long time. My mind is still blown. Kids got these racks going. They ground them all down with a wire wheel. Got some good help.
That front axle guard looks good.
Sprayed this front axle guard in Rhino liner. But I got to tape some stuff off. I do want to paint more down there. But I don't want to just blast everything to where it looks like crap. But now it's got coating on it. I think I'll paint that front diff there. The steering arm behind there. But I don't want to paint the shocks, the fan, and all that stuff. So let that dry so I can tape it off. We got put some cardboard in this front end so we can paint this front rack. Took the headlight bezel off. That needs to be ground down and repainted. The front rack, need to grind that down and repaint it. Just get the crust off of it. So, just goes to show you can neglect a Honda and it'll still keep kicking. I'm excited. We need to get this back rack as well. And then let that battery charge a little longer. I should have kept it on this charger all night, but I put it on a trickle charger and it didn't do anything. Still haven't figured out why I don't have power to anything. There was a mouse nest, so maybe in here there's a wire or something, or a fuse. Actually, wasn't there a fuse box? Here's a fuse here, which it's good. So that might be the starter solenoid. That's starter solenoid. That it might be CDI box or the brain. I don't really see any fuses anywhere. I just got to trace that wire all the way down back to the battery, figure out where it goes, what it does. The racks are off, so we could start unbolting all this. Helmet holder? What do you mean helmet holder?
That's what I was looking at.
Gosh, look at the clamps on the. There's nothing left of them. How did it rust so bad? Man. I mean, slowly she's coming back. She just needs to be moved around, worked, played with. Everything needs to be, used. And I think it'll come right back. I'm excited. You're not going to find many out there like this for $350. Not running anyway. We ordered parts. It's been a couple days. I just let it sit over the corner. I still haven't figured out anything with the electrical, but check out what we bought. We've got a new seat cover off eBay, made for that seat. It's gray. I think this seat used to be this color, honestly. So we're gonna be fixing that. We got a new battery as it needs it. We charged it, it comes back, it'll light up the handlebar lights, but it's not enough to push the starter, so need the battery. Got an air filter because, well, there were mice nests in there, so gotta always replace your air filter. Got some filter foam, new clamps because the clamps were too rusty. grips. She needs new grips. This is the tool for replacing grips and new oil. We ran it around the yard. It was putting and sputtering, so today we got to get this thing all cleaned up, get this carb cleaned, get a new filter in it, get the seat done, grips changed, rest of the racks painted, and we can post this thing for sale. And you know, I think we're gonna get, I'll post this thing for $1,600, probably get $1,400 for it. I'm holding out, you know, I know it's worth that at least. So we'll get some new grips on this thing, a new seat on this thing, clean these plastics up. We still haven't cleaned it, so I mean, it looks pretty good for the, you know, the way it sits. I did put a little bit of plastic restore on this black piece. You can see it, you know, it kind of came back. So let's get busy. Need to get this carb cleaned out, see if we can't get this thing starting and running a little better, and then we'll go from there. All right, got the carb back on, trying to get this off the boot. Look at these. Come here and look at this screw. That's how rusted it was. You can't even get a screwdriver in it.
It's horrible.
But what is cool is they put screens in here. So the mice nests that were in this box, they never made it into the carb. So that's awesome. But I need to get this clamp off here so I can get new clamps on it. Like so. And we're going to put this air filter on. Actually, let's see how this filter fits. Looks a little bigger than what we had. Basically, that's going to go there. That fits good. Obviously, we'll roll it. Get some moose racing action sticking up like so. I got to get the tube on here. Pulled the carb apart, and surprisingly, it's super clean inside there. The guy did say it ran really smooth when he parked it. It's just sat. So aside from the mice nest, they never made it in there. And the gelling of the fuel, if there was any, you know. We drained the fuel. We did drain the gas. I'd say there's about 2 gallons of turpentine in there. So I went to the gas station and I bought, because gas is very cheap right now, I filled up both my cans with premium. And what I did is I filled the tank completely with premium gas. That way, you know, it's going to wash the walls, the whole inside of the tank, and it's just going to be cycling through premium. I had the kids, when we did it, I had them put it around the yard, and it was still kind of putting, you know, trying to wash all the gas out of the system, get new premium in there. We parked it a couple days ago, and then, you know, obviously just pulled the carb. Didn't really do anything in there. It's pretty clean, you know, just kind of blew air through it, carb cleaner, and just, you know, the basic carb clean. So, yeah, now it's time to put this thing together. I think we can start by, we'll get this air box back on. I'll get this filter all nice and oiled up. I did get, that's why I had 2 new clamps, because we need a clamp here and a clamp here. So we got those. This thing should be airtight, so let's get busy doing that. I only have 2 clamps that'll fit this, so I'm going to run this on a little bit of an angle and hopefully catch some of that and some of that. I mean, it'll hold the boot on. It's not like it has air pressure. So let's see if it's going to hold. Yeah, I'd say that's good. We're airtight. And then, clean my hands. PJ1 foam filter treatment. Basically, oil, so when you get dust, you can, it stops the dust from going through the foam.
It smells good.
So then, massage all that in. See, didn't go inside, but it's enough to coat the outside. Voila. Next step, I think I'm gonna work on these grips. But check this out. This was posted for free yesterday.
Works good.
Works great. So that was my big score for yesterday. Make money. While that compressor's airing up, Bam Bam, I'm gonna have him peel this cover off. Basically, you just gotta get those staples. So get in there. You can use this round part as a, to pry, like so. If you wanna get all these staples out, like so. Get them out all the way around, and then we'll put a cover on there. This is my way to get grips off. A lot of people use dish soap, and it'll help them slide on, and when the dish soap dries, it acts as a glue sometimes. But this way here, just get your nozzle. Voila! Quick, easy. Get your nozzle in there. All you gotta do is get it under the grip. Pops it right off. Also, check this out while we're here. This, I just put that foam filter oil on here. It's dry to touch, but it's still shiny. So we'll see how much better these cheapy grips look on here. They gotta look better than, old Hondas. They're almost like too new looking for what this is. But, I mean, they're cheap. They're ODIs, so, ODI grips are my son's favorite grips for his expensive bikes. And then it's got this here, so I'm guessing that goes on the bottom. Set you there. You get it on there. Ooh, is that a dead bug in there? No. There, we're all the way to the end. That's a tight fit. We'd have never got those on. New grips for the win. All our levers work again. Alright, what's next? Let's get working on this bed.
Whoop whoop. Yummy.
Let's get our vacuum and vacuum that out. It'll help.
It'll look better.
Look a lot nicer.
And keep it from rusting more, right?
Yeah, it's already rusted, but it's got to slow it down a little bit. I'd say she runs. Wait, let's hear that again. Holy cow. Did you hear how fast that started up? Hear the fans? Everything's working again. Check if we got lights, Bam Bam. Score! Uh-oh. She's not idling yet. Choke on me. idle. Still don't have headlights, but we got almost idle.
Starts up quick too.
Yeah, I mean, as fast as it starts, it idles for, say, I don't know, 20 seconds. I think it's just going to get better. It definitely likes this air filter on there. It likes the battery. So, Bam Bam, you want to untwist these, get that wire out of there. We do have a fuse to our solenoid, which, I mean, that's good. What else do we have to do here? Battery. All right, Phil. All right, we're getting close. All we've got left is change the oil and the seat. Let's get it done. See, take this thing out for a spin. All right, we'll let that sit and settle for a minute and then we'll check our levels. What can we do now?
Seat cover.
Let's work on that seat cover real quick. All right, first things first, you want to pull down right here, get it recessed inside that hump. We'll get it nice and stapled from, say, here to here, you know, do this area first, and then we can pull it out and then work our way to the back. But if you start stapling here and work your way forward and then here, this will be a big bubble. You won't get it down. So you really got to work that area first, and then you can work out all the wrinkles. But for now, we just need to work on this area here, get it real nice and tight, and then do the rest. Don't mind my staples. My gun sucks. So, I mean, every once in a while a staple will bend instead of go in. You got to put a lot of pressure on it. But we've got it. You know, you can see we've got it from here to here. So now we're going to pull to the end. And, well, I'm going to pull in the center over. I'll do a staple there, and then I'll pull to the end. And that'll pull it out, and then that's going to pull it this way. If you don't do it right, you'll wind up with wrinkles in your seat, and it'll look weird. But right now, you can see we've got a good looking seat so far.
Bada boom, bada bang.
There's the seat.
Looks good.
Yeah. eBay seat, really cheap. The guy sells good seats, nice stretchy, like pleather, whatever you call it. All right, Cam, let's see if this thing starts. Look at him go. I'd say it runs.
Yeah, it does.
I'd say we fixed it. I'll get the racks on it. No need to see that. You saw them come off. We still got to paint them and do some stuff. But I mean, it goes to show you can buy a quad that's been sitting, especially a Honda, and get it running. If it was running when they parked it, it will run if you clean it all up inside. I mean, those motors are sealed, so nothing gets in there. The only thing they could do is get inside the carburetor in the air box. If you check that first, you won't suck anything in. And maybe broken wires from animals. But for the most part, I could tell it was good because I saw the tires and the wheels. It was rustier than I thought when I got there, but I already knew I was gonna buy it for 350 bucks. These things go, it's 4x4. It's a 4x4 Honda. These things go for 1,500 minimum. So the cleaner I make it, the better. I will clean these up here. I'll clean the plastics up. I'll make it look really nice, and we'll post it for sale, and we'll see what we get for it. Make sure you come back and see. Maybe we'll buy something else and revive that. Thanks for watching our channel. We'll see you later. Peace. We need to buy more quads.
Yeah.
That sold in 20 minutes for 1,300 bucks. We bought the bike for 350, 100 in parts. Do the math. You can see the car's not even done being cleaned yet. We posted it, the guy came, bought it, left.
He was literally here within 15 minutes.
15 minutes, I had 85 messages. We need to get down on the toy train and start finding toys because we just knocked down a week's pay for
850 bucks is
Yeah.
profit.
for freaking having fun playing with a quad. Kids all got to ride it. So if that don't tell you what you can do with 350 bucks, nothing will.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, find those steals.
Yes, peace.